What's a one word that I would use to describe the feeling of being in a band? Fun. That's really, I mean, I can't, and I know it's short and simple again, but oh my God, it was so much fun.
I've always been, in like the band, in like the school band, played saxophone throughout my adolescence. But there was an appeal to the guitar and the bass that I really found in high school. And what got me really into music was just, I would listen to a song, probably a Black Keys or Caged Elephant song, and it would spawn such an emotion for me that I just wanted to have that same effect on other kids, because it really did help me through a lot of dark times, and I want to be able to bestow that honor onto other kids that might be going through the same thing I did when I was little.
Actually, my dad played guitar for a while, and I kind of just picked it up because I always had guitars around the house. And I never really found an interest in it till I started high school, and I started listening to a lot more music, and that's when I really wanted to start playing.
The moment that I decided that I was going to have a career in music, I was 12. I was living in Washington State. I was a military brat at the time, and I was playing violin. I played violin for maybe 2 years at the time, 7th grade, and watching the Boston Symphony Orchestra on TV. It was in the summertime, and they were playing for some July 4th celebration of some sort. And I knew exactly, I wanted to play violin in an orchestra. One day, that's exactly what I was going to do. It changed. Years went by, and I ended up not doing that because we moved, and I put down the violin, and all that stuff happened. But it's funny how I ended up coming back to it. I never expected that I would come back to that.
In my choir class, my senior year, a gentleman by the name of Carl Waxman from Pima College brought his choir, and they performed for us, and it rocked my world. I was blown away by the quality of sound and the music and the passion that this director had.
These other kids I hung with, they all got instruments one year for some event, I'm guessing Christmas. And I didn't. I was the only one who didn't have a playable instrument, and they were all like, "You're gonna sing." So that's where this started for me.
The relationship I have with a lot of my other bandmates they're anything but static. I mean, me and Pat, he's someone that I could relate to in any situation, and likewise, and I get to tell him whatever I feel, and there's no judgment there, and he could do the same with me. Diego, it's kind of crazy because I feel that we're really different people. We're like complete polar opposites, But at the end of the day, it works. It's shown in our music. His aggressive attentiveness on the drums kind of goes really well with my slow and melodic blues guitar playing, and it just shows our personalities when we put it through our instruments, and that's what really gets us our sound.
I would describe the relationship kind of like family, almost. We get on each other's nerves a lot, and we'll make fun of each other's moms a lot. But yeah, at the end of the day, we have each other's backs.
I was typically in bands that we were cover bands. We played other people's music. We didn't write much. So we were typically hardcore fans of all those bands, or at least the songs that we played. And if we played a song that one of the band members wanted to play and we hated it, we still played it with gusto. So that was one thing. There was just being fans, hardcore fans. But the other thing, everything that came along with it, the friendships and, the funky friendships. You'd be in a band with someone that you're not so sure that you really liked, but you ended up getting to know them further, deeper, and you learned how to appreciate them. It's kind of like family, where, well, yeah, they're family, so you gotta love them, even if you hate them. But you gotta get along, and where it all came together was always the church of music, Basically, that was where music was the master. You know, the song meant everything, and everybody had to agree on well, agree to disagree on some things, but whatever it was, you had to make the song the best that you could, and so you'd have to put all these other differences aside. So, and thankfully, all that would result in fun.
Students come to the choral department for many different reasons. I think some of them come simply because they are already good singers or already good musicians, and it's something that they feel that they can contribute to the school, to the department, to whatever, or just to better themselves. But I know that some kids come because they want to be part of a family, because they want to be part of something that is already established, that they know that they can walk in, they can offer up what they have to give, whether it be their passion for music, whether it's their talent, whether it's just that need for something bigger than they are.
Playing downtown last night was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I mean, like, we got to play our music that we like to play, and we had people come up to us and enjoy what we do. And not only that, I mean, whenever they would be generous enough to throw in a tip, it wasn't even about the money that excited us. It was just the tangible verification that we were on the right road, you know? And just being able to play in front of people that really want to be there, that's something that we've never really experienced.
Playing downtown last week was actually the first time I ever played in front of anyone besides our band, so it was pretty different for me. But it was really awesome, and I had a whole different feeling towards everything with a lot of people watching. I've never had that happen before, but it made me feel a lot more comfortable with myself and more confident in myself.
In performing, along with, yes, you realize that you've gotten to this point. You've taken the past either 5 or to 8 or 10 weeks to get to this point where you are performing and you've got this audience out there and you can feel them. You've got anxiety, as well as, I love this. This is the moment where I can feel like we're flying, or you know, the anxiety from crashing and burning.
The thing is, like, moments leading up to it, yeah, you have nerves. You know, you want to do good. You want to give a good show to the people that want to listen. But once you're out there, once, you know, all the amps are plugged in and the drum set's finally ready to go, and when we play that first song, it clicks. And it just feels like every decision that I've made up until that point, they were the correct decision, because it led me to that night, you know, downtown playing live in front of people.
Qualities you would want to see in a band to play in a professional venue. First of all, they have to be, you know, tight, very, you know, everything starting and stopping on time. You know, it sounds silly, but that's so basic, and you can really tell if a band has been practicing a lot and they know their stuff.
You have like classes, if you're taking lessons, you get your ass those lessons on time, you do overtime, you study, fucking practice your shit off, so that when it comes down to the point where you're writing music, you know what the fuck you're doing. Because walking into that shit blind is awful. Your music sounds generic, repetitive, it sounds shitty. So practice your ass off. Break the moon. That was my first band. We didn't know anything. We sound like shit. Now we don't sound like shit.
Innovate. Like, you have to push forward, make new stuff, something that hasn't been done. You're competing against bands that are a lot more well-known, a lot better than you. If you're doing what you're fighting on their level, you're not.
Make your music, make it sound as good as possible. It's so cheap now to make a good recording, and you know, make a viral video, make something, you know, that you think will get online and catch a little buzz or whatnot. Another thing, just when you do get that good recording, just keep sending them out to you know, bloggers, like these key bloggers on websites like Gorilla vs. Bear or Stereo Gum, you know, stuff like that.
For anyone starting a band in high school, work out your differences. Pick each other's brain, see what you want to do, get to know each other really well, and adapt.
I would tell other bands just to keep trying, because when me, Alex, and Diego went downtown to pass out our CD and try to get a gig, like, it was pretty bad. Like, no one emailed us back or texted us or whatever.
Just enjoy it, you know, because there's no point in worrying about when's your first gig and when things are actually going to take off. You got to start enjoying it before you do anything else, you know, and then everything else will come along. I believe that. But there is some push that needs to be happening, you know. You can't just sit around practicing week after week. You got to get out there, you know. And when those gigs aren't calling you back and when those bars aren't really, you know, responding to those emails, you got to make a gig for yourself. You got to get out there and just, instead of people coming to you, you got to go to them, you know, and then they will like your stuff.
The time frame that I first started trying to succeed as a musician was a time frame in which we as the artists were being pretty much, I don't know, told in mythic manners that there are these people out there looking for us and they're going to come find us and they got a little something behind them. And one day, you know, you're going to play a great show and you're going to be backstage with your bros and you'll be like, oh, fine, man, fucking. And this guy comes in and he's got this perfectly pressed, very angular three-piece suit and he says, son, I love you. Sign here. Life just got awesome. I've seen that represented, and I'm willing to believe that actually happened to somebody at some point, but not in the time I've been doing it.
I see many kids that love music and they would love to get into it, but I don't necessarily see that, yes, they are indeed going to do this. And usually that one kid that I know without a fact that this is what they're going to do, it's because they eat, drink, and sleep the instrument. And so for me, seeing that they're going to do anything else, I can't even see that. But by and large, most of my kids, most of my students, while they may have a love for it, I strongly suggest that they don't go into the music business because it's so hard.
You know, lots of kids enjoy music, lots of kids do well in music, but you can tell when somebody is so passionate about it that they live and breathe it. I think passion is what music derives from. I think without passion, you have nothing to offer your audience.
Maybe if you've been doing it 3 years and you feel pretty strongly inside yourself that you ain't got what it takes, stop. Go to school, get a good job, spare yourself. I have met so many 12 years in and have known for 6 years. But just, you know they know. Don't do that to yourself. It's not what you're good at. Find the other thing you're good at.
I try to let them know that there are so many jobs that are not necessarily the obvious ones, the rock star, the diva up there singing her heart out, dancing her heart out. I try to let them know that, you know, there's a huge industry around the whole world actually at this point, and you can do it from your bedroom, but there's a whole industry connected with this, with so many jobs, that if you love the industry, if you love the music, if you love the art, then there's a place for you.
What do you think your parents think of your dream to be a musician?
Well, I haven't really told them yet that I want to be a musician because I don't know how my mom will feel about that.
I don't necessarily see myself following it into a career. I just would really like to continue on making music, even if it's just for my personal self, you know? Like, it doesn't matter if everybody in the world needs to hear it. I just really love doing it.
If I wasn't a musician, or if it doesn't work out, I would love to be an author, because I really enjoy reading, and some of the things that I read, it's like these authors were in the same position I am, you know? And again, I would like to bestow that that relationship to my readers, you know, if I was an author.
If I wasn't a musician, I'd probably just be a stockbroker.
Originally, I wanted to go to med school. I wanted to be a surgeon. That was my dream for a while. And then ever since this started up, that just kind of faded.
I think that anybody that has the passion and the drive to do anything, whether it be music, whether it be acting, whatever your passion is, as long as you have the passion to do it and the drive to make it happen, it's never too late.
We're told by all these parents that it's the golden years, you know, and we just completely disagree. But when we come together as a band, it really is. I look forward, you know, when I'm at school sleeping at a desk, or when I'm at work sleeping at work. I really do look forward to like these nights where I can just go and hang out with my band for however long we want to, because it really does make it all worth it, you know. And it makes me do feel like I'm living the golden years.
One of the difficulties in playing in a band in high school probably were the restrictions of being under your parents' roof still. So occasionally you'd be like, hey mom, can I have my band over so we can practice? And then she'd have a fit about that.
Don't let them tell you, oh, it never worked. You know, Katy Perry's a goddess from heaven. You know, she was just a girl too.
It's fucking awesome.
You know, I don't know that there's ever a cap on how late it is to pursue any career.
And it was like our first time playing, and we were just thinking about names and whatnot. And like we would always like brainstorm a whole bunch of names. Like I thought like PSA was cool, like public service announcement, like that was cool. But I mean, they both shot it down. So I came up with like, what about secondhand smoke, right? And I was like, man, that's a cool last name. But then Diego, like he does sometimes, he shot it down immediately and said he hated it. And he said he wanted to name our band something to do with 76, because he just thought it was a badass number, which we all agreed on.
It's just fucking awesome.